banner yet wave o'er the land of the free.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us on 2K Sports. NBA action is coming up. Our game tonight featuring the Chicago Bulls as they go up against the Washington Wizards here in Capital One Arena. With Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. And we're pleased to have on the sidelines tonight David Aldridge. Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. Santi Aldama is out there at the DeRozan. Then it's Haliburton. Then there's Isaiah Hartenstein. And it's Brown in at the 2. And for the Wizards, Devin Booker out there with Austin Reeves. Then it's Derek Lively. Then there's Tobias Harris. And it's Vassell in at the 3. There should be plenty of action down in the painted area tonight, Greg, with the big man matchup in this one.
Yeah, I love to see skilled bigs dueling down low. Kind of a throwback in some ways, but there's still plenty of physicality in the modern game.
And that one is good. And it's the Bulls with the ball. This their first look at this year's Washington squad.
And they dropped the season series to these guys a year ago. Not their proudest moment.
Here's the teardrop. And Haliburton with the layup.
When Haliburton gets this close to the cup, he's got that little teardrop. Very tough to stop it.
Well, certainly with one of the more unique shots in the NBA, Haliburton gets it done.
You know, Kevin, credit to Haliburton and the organizations he's played for, because a lot of them would have changed or tried to rebuild their shot. Haliburton and his organizations knew the shot worked, and he stuck with it. And now he's one of the best shooters at his position.
Here's Aldama. Outside DeRozan. 4 on the shot clock. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. Aldama can't hit.
Oh, that was a great effort defensively. Get a hand up in the face of the shooter. It's so important.
Lively. And he goes right over Hartenstein and slams it down.
Let's remember, this guy's got a 9'4" standing reach and a vertical that's ridiculous. Lively just getting to the rim.
Nice job capturing the moments on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. And the basket by DeRozan.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
Vassell finds Reeves. Lively sends a screen for Reeves. It's rebounded by Hartenstein.
That's a shot he makes with regularity, but that time the defense up to the challenge.
Haliburton against Booker. Screen by Hartenstein. A nice shot by Haliburton.
Well, it's been early in his career, but Tyrese Haliburton has proven to be extremely dangerous from range.
Here's Booker. It's hauled in by the Bulls. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing the last matchup with the Lakers.
The failure to make shots on a consistent basis, that's going to put you behind the 8 ball all night.
I thought most of the shots they took were low percentage looks. The key in the NBA is, can you get your best scorers into their best spots? They didn't do that.
That's good from Haliburton. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Bulls lead by 4. And we'll be back with you for the... And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And guys, what's your take on the Bulls so far?
Impressive start. They came in with a well-conceived game plan and have executed.
What terrific work at the offensive end. They have built some early momentum here.
On the court right now, second quarter for the Bulls. Dennis Schroeder is out there with Halliburton. Then it's Rui Hachimura. Then there's Bojan Bogdanovic. And it's Horford in at the 5, roaming the paint. Here's Schroeder. Off target from outside.
He couldn't believe how open he was. He just couldn't convert it.
We know, Doris, at one point, the Wizards had one of the most unique pairings in NBA history.
Think back to 1987, 1988, the year you're talking about, when the 5'3" Muggsy Bogues was a teammate of Manute Bol, who stood 7'7" tall. At the time, they were the tallest and shortest players in NBA history, with 28 inches between them. Incredible.
Here's Vassell in the corner. It's Robinson. And so Washington again turning it over. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Wizards. On Thursday, they'll be facing Joel Embiid and the Denver Nuggets. And then on Saturday, they'll be matching up with Andre Drummond and the New York Knicks.
And going up against the Pelicans, things starting to solidify as that game is going to be number 10 on the year for them. Team getting sharper every time out.
Looking at who's out there now for the Wizards. Tobias Harris has checked in for Clint Capella. And it's Austin Reeves in for Robinson. Harris finds Alvarado from outside off the mark. So for the Wizards, their last game a win against the Atlanta Hawks.
And really showed their depth when they needed it most. On the road, having to manufacture points.
Well, how about the job they got from their bench? That productivity was a major part of the outcome.
It took some time, DB, but it's starting to come together, it seems, for Obi Toppin.
Kevin, the athleticism has always been there for Obi. I think the question was, how could he help his team beyond being a vertical threat at the rim? He now is in the perfect spot. He play with pace. He's starting to be able to put it on the deck, and now he's got to improve his defense.
He has become a pure shooter. And from mid-range, Harris is deadly.
Halliburton passes to Schroeder. Pass to Hartenstein. Halliburton on the wing. He's defended by Alvarado.
Well, you've got to have an ability to be agile in pick and rolls, and Hachimura showing as a roller on the problem.
So for the Wizards, Derek Lively, he's checked in for Toppin. And it's Booker in for Jose Alvarado. And then for Chicago, Santi Aldama comes in for Rui Hachimura. And DeMar DeRozan subbed in for Halliburton. Here's Lively, and finished off by Lively.
Derek Lively at such a young age, such a good screener, and then gets to open space and finishes. Everything you want from a young big.
The shot and game clock separated by 4. And DeRozan kicks it over to Schroeder. Hartenstein with the screen for Schroeder. His three-pointers off the mark. Harris outside. Here's Vassell. No good on the 3. And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Bulls out front, up by 5. We'll be back shortly, live from Washington.
Well, they got an offensive weapon with this move. We've seen the growth of Tobias Harris. The shooting touch, the rebounding, and all-around play. This is...
So let's dig into that first half now. And what was a very solid performance for the Bulls.
There are...
And that is a wrap. Now let's send you back to Kevin.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. Tyrese Halliburton with a strong contribution so far in this one.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything that the league can do to slow him down. He's just that good.
Well, perhaps the most impressive thing has been his incredible consistency. This guy is a great player who always brings a ton of energy. What a great half.
We've got Derek Lively. Booker out there with Austin Reeves. Then there's Tobias Harris. And it's Vassell in at the 3 slot. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington. Rule adjustments, Doris, regarding the rip-through move. Do you think those have been effective?
Kevin, I certainly think we've taken a step in the right direction. We have got to give the defense more of a chance at this point, and the idea that you don't get shots on the rip-through is important.
Wizards trail by 7. Booker outside. Vassell, a screen on Halliburton. Down low, deflects the pass. Outside DeRozan. And about a minute of action so far in the third quarter.
2 minutes.
Here's Brown. He's defended by Reed. Hartenstein can't get it to go.
There's some defense for you. For someone who's as good at shooting the 3-ball as he is, you need a defender who's equally good at guarding against him.
And the Wizards making a change here. Toppin's checked in. Reeves outside. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Second personal foul.
Clearly a foul.
This is his first trip to the line tonight.
The line for 2, Austin Reeves.
The first one falls. And Reeves drops them both.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
And Billy Donovan decides to call timeout. Looking for a breather. And maybe just 1 or 2 things to talk about. And the Bulls making a change here. Hachimura is checked in. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Harris.
Possession to the Bulls.
And now it's a look at the 2K leaderboard with the list of the NBA's best fast break teams from a season ago. The Wizards second.
I mean, this is such a tough team to deal with. You see the numbers. They would just push the ball at every opportunity.
1:41 left to play in the third. Pass to Halliburton. Now Hachimura. Hartenstein with the screen for Hachimura.
And Harris can guard multiple positions. Excellent at contesting or altering the shot.
Vassell outside. Wizards passing it around. Shot clock at 5. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
And the added strength coming into play for Vassell. Nice job scoring through the contact.
Clint Capella, he's checked in for the Wizards. Greg, you know this. Getting that second contract is a major goal for young players in the NBA, like Devin Vassell.
And Devin did, signing a huge 5-year extension in 23. He ended up having his finest year after inking that deal. Vassell has a very bright future.
Here's Booker. It's deflected. 3-on-3. Here's Brown. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation. Jose Alvarado, he's checked in for Austin Reeves. And then for Chicago, Al Horford is checked in for Hartenstein. Goodwin comes in for Christian Brown. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Halliburton. Capella dishes to Toppin. Vassell outside. Connects from three-point range. Vassell's got 6 points in the quarter.
And there is no hesitation on Vassell's catch-and-shoot jumpers. Any sort of room, and he's letting it fly.
Vassell against DeRozan. launches from deep. And the last second attempt doesn't fall. It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of 3. Bulls lead by 1. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
And, you can always count on him for at least a couple of these pretty assists over the course of a game. And this one, a thing of beauty.
You know a thing or two about a point guard's job. Set the table for your teammates. Done there perfectly.
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. And now an update on Derek Lively from David Aldridge. David, what'd you find out?
Thanks, Kevin. I got some news from the Wizards' head athletic trainer. Oh, that is not what you need to see. It sounds like it's a serious injury. It's amazing. He's good to come back into the game. In fact, Kevin, he's already back in the game.
Thank you, David. Guys, the only thing you can wish for is that the prognosis isn't quite as bad as they're making it out to be.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Was really hoping for better news than that, but that does not sound encouraging.
No, I mean, this is a big blow, and it will force the team to make some adjustments, not just in terms of personnel in the court, but in terms of strategy.
Taking a look at the Bulls, Hartenstein is out there with Santi Aldama. Then it's DeRozan. Then there's Tyrese Halliburton. And it's Brown in at the shooting guard. Here's Booker. Chicago grabs the miss.
And you can see why he might be off on some of his attempts, getting far fewer shots today than he's accustomed to.
Here's Halliburton. And he banks in the layup. And now it's a 3-point Bulls lead.
We call that tough points from a tough guy, young Tyrese Halliburton.
A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Thanks, guys. I was able to catch what Brian Keefe told his team during that break. He said to his guys, we need to push the pace more. Come on, guys, we're at our best when we're attacking in transition. Energy up now. Back to you guys.
All right, David, thanks. Final quarter here, and we're just over a minute and a half through it. And Aldama has it in the corner. And it's Halliburton missing.
Whoops. Got caught in between moves there on his way to the rack.
Booker with it. Halliburton picks him up. Booker against Halliburton. And there's the call on Devin Booker. That is his first foul of the game.
Boy, that's the last thing they needed. This game too close to be making those kinds of errors.
The Bulls shooting well, 50% from the floor. Hartenstein with the screen on Booker. Halliburton for 3. Hands it from downtown. And the Bulls lead by 6.
Tyrese Halliburton is putting in work right now. This guy getting to his spots and scoring with ease.
Here's Booker. It counts. And now they trail by just 4.
Does it seem to you guys that this guy, nothing faces him? Booker treats every moment like every other moment, no matter how big, no matter how small.
There's 39 seconds left to play here in the 4th. And it's Halliburton penetrating and finished off by Halliburton.
Fearless move by Tyrese Halliburton. The game is complete and the mind is ready.
And it's Brian Keefe calling timeout here. It's a chance for them to regroup and refocus.
Your Wizards dancer.
Booker looking around. Off on the layup. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Austin Reed. Second personal foul. Second team foul.
So the first one drops, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
Taking 2 shots.
And he hits both free throws here. So now it's an 8-point game. And it's desperation time now.
Doesn't matter if it's a 2 or a 3. They need the quickest shot possible.
So it's Chicago winning this one. They came in here and took care of business. Much appreciated, David. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now.